The fashion world was not prepared for the seismic shift that occurred when Gucci's lead designer broke his silence and declared, with chilling clarity, that Jin of BTS is not merely a fashion icon, but a phenomenon that defies the very architecture of luxury branding. Why would one of the most revered minds in haute couture make such a statement? What lies beneath the surface of Jin's quiet elegance that compels the fashion elite to recalibrate their standards? And more importantly, what does Gucci see in Jin that no other celebrity has ever embodied? This revelation did not come during a press conference, nor was it buried in a promotional campaign. It emerged in the aftermath of Milan Fashion Week, where Jin's presence at Gucci's showcase did not just attract attention, it redefined it. The designer's words were not poetic flattery. They were precise, calculated, and loaded with implications. Jin, he said, possesses a visual silence that speaks louder than any runway. That sentence alone sent tremors through the industry. What is visual silence? And why is Jin the only one who seems to master it? To understand the magnitude of this statement, one must first dissect Jin's fashion presence. Unlike many celebrities who rely on flamboyance or shock value, Jin's style is rooted in restraint. His outfits are often deceptively simple: crisp shirts, tailored trousers, monochromatic palettes. But within that simplicity lies an intricate dance of proportions, textures, and emotional resonance. Gucci's designer emphasized that Jin's fashion choices are not mere garments, they are psychological instruments. He wears silence like a weapon, the designer noted. And in fashion, silence is the rarest form of power. This is not hyperbole. Jin's appearance at Gucci's Fall-Winter 2025/2026 show was a masterclass in controlled impact. Dressed in a black leather jacket with subtle GG detailing, paired with straight-leg trousers and a muted blue shirt, Jin did not scream for attention. He absorbed it. The crowd's reaction was not just admiration, it was awe. Photographers, stylists, and editors found themselves recalibrating their lenses, not to capture flamboyance, but to chase the elusive calm that Jin exudes. What makes this calm so disruptive? The answer lies in Jin's aura, which Gucci's designer described as architectural. Not in the literal sense of structure, but in the way his presence reshapes the spatial dynamics of a room. When Jin enters, the atmosphere shifts. Conversations pause. Eyes recalibrate. It is not charisma in the traditional sense, it is gravitational. And in an industry obsessed with movement, Jin's stillness becomes revolutionary. This phenomenon has not gone unnoticed by other fashion houses, but Gucci was the first to act. Jin's appointment as global ambassador was not a marketing maneuver, it was a strategic alignment. Gucci, known for its blend of heritage and innovation, saw in Jin a living embodiment of its brand philosophy. He is both timeless and contemporary. He is both minimal and maximal in emotional effect. And most importantly, he is unpredictable in the most elegant way. The designer elaborated that Jin's fashion sensibility is not learned, it is innate. He does not follow trends. He distills them, he said. This distinction is critical. While most celebrities adapt to fashion, Jin seems to metabolize it. He absorbs the essence of a collection and expresses it through his own emotional lens. This is why his outfits never feel forced. They feel inevitable. But what truly sets Jin apart, according to Gucci's inner circle, is his ability to make fashion feel intimate. In a world of spectacle, Jin's style invites introspection. His looks do not demand applause, they provoke reflection. This is perhaps why fashion critics often struggle to categorize him. He is not avant-garde, nor is he classic. He is a paradox. The louder fashion gets, the quieter he becomes, and the more powerful his impact. This paradox is not accidental. Jin's approach to fashion is deeply philosophical. He once remarked in an interview that clothing should feel like a whisper, not a shout. Gucci's designer took this to heart, stating that Jin's philosophy has influenced the brand's upcoming collections. "We are moving away from noise," he said. Jin reminded us that elegance is not in excess, but in essence. The implications of this shift are profound. Gucci's pivot toward quiet luxury, a term now synonymous with Jin's aesthetic, is reshaping consumer expectations. The brand's recent campaigns have abandoned overt branding in favor of subtle craftsmanship. And at the center of this transformation is Jin, not as a model, but as a muse. Industry insiders speculate that Jin's influence may extend beyond Gucci. His presence at Milan Fashion Week was not just a debut, it was a declaration. Other luxury houses are reportedly reevaluating their ambassador strategies, questioning whether their current faces possess the same depth of resonance. But Gucci remains confident. Jin is not a trend, the designer said. He is a threshold. This threshold is not limited to fashion. Jin's impact is cultural. His ability to bridge East and West, tradition and modernity, masculinity and vulnerability, makes him a unique vessel for global storytelling. Gucci's designer emphasized that Jin's appeal is not demographic, it is human. He speaks to something primal in all of us, he said. The need for beauty that does not scream. The need for presence that does not perform. Such statements are rare in an industry built on performance. But Jin's refusal to conform has become his greatest asset. He does not chase relevance, he redefines it. And in doing so, he has become a mirror for the fashion world's insecurities. Why do we equate noise with importance? Why do we fear simplicity? Jin's style forces these questions into the spotlight. This is why Gucci's designer felt compelled to speak. Not to praise Jin, but to acknowledge a shift that is already underway. We are entering a post-verbal era of fashion, he said, and Jin is its first prophet. The gravity of this statement cannot be overstated. It suggests that fashion is no longer about articulation, it is about atmosphere. And Jin, with his quiet magnetism, is the architect of this new paradigm. The designer's remarks have sparked a wave of analysis across fashion media. Think pieces dissect Jin's Milan appearance frame by frame. Stylists attempt to decode his layering techniques. Psychologists weigh in on the emotional impact of his gaze. But amidst all this scrutiny, Jin remains silent. And that silence continues to speak volumes. What does this mean for the future of fashion? If Jin's influence persists, we may see a decline in performative styling and a rise in emotional authenticity. Brands may prioritize texture over logos, silhouette over spectacle. And consumers, fatigued by visual overload, may gravitate toward the kind of calm that Jin embodies. Gucci's designer concluded his remarks with a chilling prediction. In 10 years, we will look back and realize that Jin did not follow fashion. Fashion followed him. This statement, bold and unapologetic, encapsulates the essence of Jin's impact. He is not a participant